Hi, LaShonda. It's good to see you.
Hello, Terry. Good to be here.
So happy to see your shirt too. I am a
Yes,
mental
thank
health
you.
therapist
I
because
am.
I love that about you. And I love that we're going to chat about healing our hurts.
Mhm.
Because we're in the body does not make us a shield. There's not a shield around us that says we don't have past hurts, we
Mhm.
don't have current hurts, and we won't have hurts in the future. The important thing is we have someplace to go to heal those hurts. And I just wanted to talk with you a little bit about that because I think a lot of us, I'm going to continue to say us, because even sometimes if we know, doesn't mean it's easy to do, that we oftentimes have to face them to
Mhm.
heal from them.
Absolutely. So when you said this is what we were going to talk about, I was like, okay, I deal in hurt a lot, you know, and one of the first things that popped into my mind was my children. When they hurt themselves, talking about a physical knee scrape, scratch, or something, one of the first things that they do is they feel the pain and they begin to externalize that pain in some way, crying or whatever they're doing. And then they come to a person that they feel is going to help them resolve that pain. So
Mm,
they'll run up to me, they'll run up to their dad, and they want us to stop the pain. But
mm.
such an interesting thing when you get ready to start addressing it. Let me go get some Neosporin and a Band-Aid. Let me clean it. Then it goes, no, 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 no,
Right.
right? So I want you to make the pain stop, but I don't want you to tend to the wound.
Ooh, that's good.
And I was like, okay, daddy, is that not how I'll go with me? How I approach him sometimes and how we approach him. It's like, oh, that hurt. Daddy, I don't like it. And we have some, oh, take this pain away. And then he says, okay, let's tend to the wound. And we're like, no, because it's like this thought, it's going to make it hurt more.
Yeah,
And so when I'm with my kids, I have to say, so I'm not going to say it's not going to hurt, but I'm saying it's the necessary hurt now so it can feel better later. And I also will start, if I'm wiping it, I'll start further away from the wound.
that's good.
Does this hurt? No. Okay. Does this hurt? And so I'm getting them conditioned that healing doesn't always have to hurt. And then see, there's a lot that doesn't hurt. Now I'm getting closer to the part that's going to hurt, but look at me. And I'll blow in their face or tell a joke or something. And, and I kind of distract away from it. But sometimes we don't get to distract away from dealing with those wounds. And yeah, so that came to me, as well as because I have twins. If one twin hurts herself and gets care, inevitably the other twin is like, oh, I think I hurt myself too, right? And so what I recognize is she just wants some care and tending. So what we've been trying to do is say, you don't have to be hurt to get our attention and love. Okay. We don't have to pretend to be hurt. But I think that's something that we do too. He's our father. And I
Mhm.
think we, in some very childlike ways, try to figure out ways to approach him and get our needs met that we don't even recognize we're doing. But I think that awareness piece is like a big part of like, ooh, I do that.
Yeah, that's great. I love that example because that illustration allows you to really think about, again, you're saying you, I'll say me, how I deal with going through a painful situation, knowing that God has what it's going to take to heal me. But it's like, but that means I got to look at that painful situation again.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes, particularly starting with my kids and then moving to me, the sometimes it's hard for them. They're in pain. They want care and attention, but they recognize that the reason they got hurt is because they were doing something they shouldn't have been doing.
Mm.
or they're doing something they knew we told them not to do. So then you watch this trepidation of like, oh my God, I need my comfort from my caregivers, but then I'll have to face the fact that I got hurt riding that bike I was told not to ride, or climbing that thing I was told not to climb. And as a parent, I try to be very careful to separate the two. We will deal with the fact that there is something that caused harm because you didn't listen to our instruction. We weren't trying to be killjoys. We recognize risk, but that's a conversation we're going to have after I provide you some comfort. And I think sometimes we don't want to approach daddy with our wounds and our hurts because we recognize in some way we doing some stuff we probably, he told me about that relationship, but I just kept going. He told me about that place or that thing, and I kept doing it. And so then it's like, oh, well, I'm going to try to conceal my pain and my hurt and act like I'm okay because I don't want to have to admit to me or to him that I've been in this situation. And I just think if we can allow ourselves to think of our hurts in this way, then we start to see like, oh yeah, I definitely do that. And as an adult and as a parent, it's like, you don't think I can see that? I am aware of that, right? And do we not think that he can see that? Sometimes we can't hurt from our pain because we think we're hiding it. I can hide my pain from you, Terry, probably pretty good.
Right.
But it's harder to hide my pain from you, or it's harder to hide my pain from my husband than it is to you because of proximity and closeness and these things. So sometimes we fortify ourselves to try to conceal our pain. And a lot of people I come across, and I've had this in my life too, that I've normalized the hurt so much, I don't even recognize I'm wounded.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, this just must be how life is. Life must be really hard. Relationships must always be hurt comes and it's just like, oh, well, I'm gonna just deal with it instead of being like, let me lay this before the Father. Look at some of this stuff. And then sometimes we spiritualize it. This is just my cross. And we are to pick up our cross and bear them. But every single thing we encounter doesn't have to be a cross. Sometimes he like, I didn't ask you to carry that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So talk to me about why it is not good for us to not take the healing.
Yeah. So a couple of things. Why? Unattended wounds can get infected. And when unattended wounds get infected, it spreads and it begins to exacerbate problems that this wound was this big. Had we tended it, it would have began to heal. But when we refused to tend it and stuff got in there, it grew and it spread. So when we don't take the healing opportunities before us, it starts to spread. That relational wound, next thing you know, it's spreading into your finances. It's spreading into your sleep. It's spreading into all these things. And then we chase symptoms. So we look at sleep and we go, why am I having a hard time sleeping? It must be this, 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 and this. And we don't even realize that, no, that thing ain't got nothing to do. No, it's that thing over there. The other thing, and this is not my original thought or words, but I've seen this like meme or adage going around that when we don't address what cut us, we'll bleed on people who didn't, or something like that. Then we start taking out our hurts on our relationships because we're hurt. So someone comes along, we didn't take the healing for the thing on our arm and we're concealing it. So someone comes along and gives us a big old hug and rubs against that wound, and now we're mad at them because you hurt me. And it's like, well, the intent wasn't to hurt, but it hurt not because they necessarily did something to you, but because you didn't take the opportunity to heal the thing that was hurt. And I think that can play across all manner of relationships. When we take the opportunity, not only can we heal the thing that's hurt, but we increase our capacity to accept healing in the future.
Yeah, that's good.
And I think that's key. It's like the shot you get, right? When thinking about kids again, it's like they're scared of the needle. They get the shot, but then when we go, you survived that, remember? remember last year we came and you got the pretty sticker and the sucker and it was all good. And there is a memory. Oh, wait, this thing did happen. I did overcome it. It's not pleasant, but I can get through it. So as we increasingly take the opportunities to heal, we build the fortitude to be able to heal.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, we spent some time here talking about, healing the hurts, the importance of doing that. And we're going to come back next week and we're going to talk about some ways that we think we should, as a body of believers, heal. And I just want people to, again, we're here to get folks talking, to, generate the conversation. But I love the illustration, and I would love for people to take the time and think about their emotional or spiritual hurts and equate them to how you showed it and illustrated it in the physical. And do you go through that? Do you recognize it? We're not telling you right now to just sit there and go back and look at all your hurts, but do you also do what the twins do, So I appreciate you taking that time with us.
Of course, thank you.
So it's good to see you. And so, hey, everyone, bye. We'll talk to you next time. Join us next week when we're going to talk a little bit more and we're going to carry this conversation forward. See ya.
Bye.